Hello, my dear friends. How are you doing? Hope you are having an amazing day and not having to deal with drama. Ready for new stories I have for you today? Let's go to the first one. And don't forget to listen to the end of the story, guys, to hear my insights. Enjoy the stories. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. We were supposed to get married on August 20th in a small ceremony. I've, female 33, been with my fiance, male 34, for 6 years, engaged for 1. The best years of my life. He's brilliant in every way, or so I thought. The accident happened 6 weeks ago. A drunk driver hit my fiance's car. I spent the worst night of my life in the hospital, waiting for answers from the doctors, and he went through hours and hours of surgery. His parents and brothers were also there waiting. I've always loved his family, and they me. His mom was one of my favorite people, and we got along very well. She was happy to have me as her first daughter-in-law. She's religious, and when my fiance was hovering between life and death, she was worried about his sins, so she told me that he cheated on me about 2 months ago with an ex he bumped into. She explained that it was because of the wedding and the stress of planning it. Apparently, I've been both stressed out and stressing him out. He had a weak moment. It was a one-time thing, and he regretted it so much. He asked his parents for advice on what to do, and they told him not to say anything. As long as he's remorseful, and as long as it was me he wanted, he should forget about what he did and move on. His whole family knew. After the hospital, he moved back to his parents' house because we live in a flat without lifts. I visit him every day. I haven't told him that I know, and his family is acting like nothing has changed. They're very happy he's doing better, and understandably so, and my presence by his side is very helpful according to him and his family. Now, both fiancé and his parents are talking about us being able to get married on the day we said after all. I feel awful, because I don't want that. Our relationship was over the moment I found out about the cheating. I stayed because I loved, still do, him, and wanted him to feel better. I couldn't break his heart while he's recovering. I also thought the wedding was postponed, and that we, would have more time for him to recover fully and be strong and independent again, so I could leave with clear conscience. I tried to speak to his mom today, but she just started hyperventilating and kept telling me not to do this. She made a mistake by telling me, and that I shouldn't take advantage of what she said in desperation to punish him and kill his spirit. He's still recovering, and he needs me. I've been thinking since my talk with his mom about everything, and I'm so angry at him. I'm ashamed that even when I was worried about his life, I was very angry and resentful. We were supposed to have our wedding in this beautiful manor house that he found that's all-inclusive, with our most important people. My best friend is a DJ, and my parents paid for the whole thing, even though they're much poorer, so I don't know where the stress has come from. We fixed everything in a week. I'm so angry, and I've kept bottling it up since the accident. I'm afraid I'm going to explode soon. Well, he didn't feel sorry for OP when he cheated on her, so OP shouldn't feel sorry for him while he's recovering. She should just leave him and cut ties with all his manipulative family. His mother is guilt-tripping OP. OP should not let her do that. You should never set yourself on fire to keep someone warm. And now let's see if the community agrees with me. Pharmacine123 says, quote, "So I don't even know where the stress has come from," close quote. That's because there was no stress. It was just a lame excuse he gave to his parents. And they bought it hook, line, and sinker, and are now making you out to be the bad guy. They are a manipulative bunch, and you will be well rid of them. One Wildflower says, "Well, at least you found out how he handles stress ahead of time. I read this expecting to see you ask him and find out it was a lie." Meyer Becca says, "Your future mother-in-law is solely looking out for her and her son. She is not concerned about you and your feelings. She told you something devastating only because she was worried for her son's soul if he didn't live. Now she's wanting you to keep quiet only because she will look bad for telling you. Your fiancé is looking out for himself too. He knows what he did was wrong. That's why he confessed to his parents and not to you. Please look out for yourself, because these people are not." I, 35 male, and my partner, 37 male, are expecting our first child in the coming weeks. So we decided to take one last couples trip before Bub arrives. We were gone for just over a week. On our return, we noticed that all my collectible figurines were missing. I've been collecting these since I was about 15, and I have over 150 pieces. They got me through some pretty dark times in my life. Upon reviewing our security cameras, we found footage of my mom's current husband, Adrian. My parents are divorced, and my mom married her new husband when I was 20, so I've never really had much to do with him. But in saying that, I really don't like him. He is rude, dismissive, and an all-around jerk. Loading them into his car. Both my parents and my partner's parents have a key to our house in case of emergencies. When I confronted them about it, I was told that I am too old for these toys, and that Adrian had given them to his nephew as his sister was struggling financially, and his nephew doesn't have many toys, and how happy and excited he was to get them. I was absolutely furious. I told them that they had 30 days to replace every one of them, and they have to be in the same condition they were when they were taken, since basically, all of them were in both their original packaging and protective cases. Adrian scoffed and said that his nephew was going to be so upset that I'm taking all his toys off him, and he wasn't going to do my dirty work, and if I wanted them back so badly, I could go collect them myself. I again said they have 30 days to replace them, and that they must be in the same condition they were in before they were taken, as the value of my collection is over $60,000. I got lucky and a few pieces in my collection have really jumped in price since I purchased them. When I point this out, I was told I was crazy, and there's no way that stupid toys could be worth that much, and there was no way they could afford to replace them, since Adrian is out of work and my mom doesn't earn that much. At this point, everyone involved was starting to lose their tempers, so my partner jumped in and calmly said the conversation was over, and if there wasn't a serious effort to start replacing everything in the next 30 days, we would be evicting them, since they live in one of our units we own, and will be going no contact, meaning they wouldn't be allowed to meet our baby. This broke my mom. The 30 days passed and my partner informed them they had 7 days to leave. Since then, I've had multiple family members, including my dad, telling me banning my mom from meeting our baby is too harsh and that she would never forgive me, and they pointed out that she stood by me when I came out. I do feel bad for my mom, and I'm tempted to tell her if she leaves Adrian and helps me press charges against him for theft, trespassing, and anything else the police think of, we will let her back into our lives, slowly of course, as she knew how important my collection is to me, but she could still be included in Bub's life. Am I the a-hole? OP should press charges and go through with the eviction. OP was nice by giving him 30 days, and obviously he didn't care and didn't take OP seriously, so OP needs to follow through. OP is about to have a child. These toys could have been given to OP's child. Cheshire Blood says, absolutely not the a-hole, and you should press charges. You've got video evidence of those figurines being stolen. Anti-Podine Rabbit says, excuse me? Your family pointed out that your mom supported you when you came out? Are they ducking kidding? That's the bare minimum a parent needs to do to be considered a decent human. Honestly, I'm angry, annoyed, and disappointed at their disrespectful behavior for you. You are not the a-hole. What if you wanted those collections for your child? You know, the one your mother so desperately wants to see? They've just cost you $60K and have stolen from you, showing no remorse. Make no mistake, this behavior will escalate now that your stepdad knows he has your mom's support in his theft. By supporting him, she has become an accessory, and he will use this to drag her down with him. Quite frankly, I would have pressed charges while they were in your rental, so you knew where to send the police. And if your mother could do that to you, you can bet your bottom dollar she would do it to her grandchild. Mama Guy says, not the a-hole. What your stepdad did was theft. Immediately change your locks and do not give them a key. They could have just as easily bought the nephew some toys instead of stealing your collection. Give them 48 hours to return everything, or you will file a claim with your insurance company and the police, with a copy of the security footage to both. And I wouldn't trust them around Bub if they don't understand what they did was wrong. They made their choice to steal. They can live with the consequences. I, 33 female, and my boyfriend, 39 male, have been together coming up on 5 months. In the first month we were seeing each other, I told him a couple of years back I was a surrogate and will be doing a sibling journey for the same family at some point. My intended parent, IP, and I discussed it at 2 weeks postpartum, and I verbally agreed then I would be honored and carry again, so long as I can get medically cleared when the time came. At the time, he told me that was amazing I did that and would be willing to do it again. All seemed he was good with it, and that was the only conversation we had until last night. When I told him my surrogate family reached out and told me they decided they will have me transfer again, he was no longer supportive. His answer was, "No, you don't need the money. Babe, no. You're with me. You aren't a baby factory. We have future plans." As you can tell, it led to an argument where he is now trying to find a way for me to get out of being a surrogate. He's making it clear he doesn't want me to do it, and that I should pick him and his feelings over my surrogacy family. We talked a little more today, and he told me that while he was fine with it when we were new, and I was single, he didn't think he would ever have to deal with it when we were together, and now that we have gotten serious, he isn't okay with it. He also said he didn't see why I couldn't understand his side as to why he isn't okay with it. I had to let him know that I will never be in his position, to be the partner of someone who could or is a surrogate. So I don't understand, and I need him to talk more on it to help me see what the issue is. In my eyes, nothing changes really, outside of I no longer get a period. My pregnancies have always been easy. I don't really show till 5+ months, and my IP is super chill. My contract is very bare on restrictions. Literally, the only one is when I'm 32 weeks, and it's not being allowed to go outside of a 2-hour range of the delivery hospital. Plus, I'm close with my surrogacy family. We communicate with each other regularly, and I get to see them often as well, since we live in the same state. They specifically wanted a surrogate who would be interested in a long-term relationship, and for the baby to know the surrogate, since it will be pretty clear that they didn't come from their IP. They are non-uterus owners. While I have always gotten mixed responses when I've told people I was a surrogate, it's something I hold near and dear to my heart, and I value the relationship with my bonus family. But at this point, it's being made pretty clear it's my relationship with him or my surrogacy. So am I the a-hole for not really being willing to get out of my contract because my boyfriend isn't okay with it? Edit to add. The babies are not biologically mine. In my state, surrogates cannot have any DNA tied to the baby. It's illegal. My IF used an egg donor. It should be noted I'm already under contract for this sibling journey. We signed early this year and already did an initial transfer which failed. Per my contract, I'm committed to 3 transfers before I could choose to not continue. Turpish Chore 761 says, "Not the a-hole. Let's see. You've been dating this man for approximately 100 business days, and he thinks he can come in and tell you what to do with your body? Just because he feels a certain way doesn't obligate you to change your behavior, vacate a contract to make him feel better. He's a big boy and can work through those big feelings on his own. Maybe this is not the right season for the two of you to be in a relationship." No Locksmith says, "Not the a-hole. You've been dating for not even half a year, and he wants to control your body? Good thing he's showing you his true colors early on, so you can dump him and haven't wasted too much of your life." Crimson Knight says, "Not the a-hole. You made your plans clear up front. He doesn't get to clutch his pearls now when he's always knew this was a possibility. Especially since this is only, 4 months later? I'm sure the fact that it's actually happening makes it more of a reality for him. And it makes sense that he'd have some feelings to work through. But it still isn't up to him to decide what you do with your body, especially since, again, it's not like you sprung this on him out of nowhere." Background. My partner and his ex have what I would consider a close friendship, and not one I really welcome or encourage, but I accept. They text almost every day, have dinner every 3 weeks or so, and often play sports with a mutual friend. A lot of this was really tough for me at the beginning, but my partner assured me they were just good friends. A while back, when my partner was showering after dinner, he got a text which popped up on the screen, not WhatsApp, from the ex saying, "I really miss you," while his phone was charging on his bedside table. I didn't think much of it, but it certainly tainted the "we're just friends" angle. We've subsequently had a few quite major discussions about his conduct and how I find it upsetting, etc. I made a post about this in a different sub, so feel free to check that out for context. Now, my partner and I have decided to hold a Christmas holiday party this year for our family and close friends. We decided on the venue together, what the vibe was, and split costs down the line. He asked me to send him the email addresses of people I'd like to invite, as he managed the online invitation process, with me as a guest, not admin. I respond to the RSVP and see that his ex has pressed attending. Granted, we didn't review each other's attendees, and I never said I don't feel comfortable with your ex there. But given that my close friends and family are there, I genuinely never thought he'd invite the ex, especially given our history. I'm now trying to see the holiday party as a way to engage with the ex, and maybe re-examine my stance on their relationship. But I can't help feeling overlooked and angry. When I asked my partner about this, he said, "Oh, it was just a name on a list, nothing more. And I invited ex's name's friends too, so it would be awkward not to invite ex." Missing the glaring awkwardness that my partner invited someone who clearly had or has feelings for him to a party with my close friends and family, many of who will ask, "So how do you know partner?" I really can't tell if I've been the a-hole, if my partner has been the a-hole, or if I'm being gaslighted. Am I the a-hole for not wanting the ex here? Deleted 2088. This post is about so much more than the holiday party, clearly. You're not the a-hole to be bothered by his relationship with the ex. They're more than good friends. They were intimate once before, and they are intimate now, even though they may not be as active now. Intimacy like this between two people, when at least one is in a relationship with another, is a mistake and disrespectful. You're not the a-hole, and your partner needs a tune-up. Pineapple Gecko 633. Not the a-hole, but I can't shake the feeling something is wrong here. I see you spend a lot of time with your partner, but I read your previous post. There's an awful lot of deceit. On your partner's point, he knows you don't like the relationship with his ex. He knows you don't like how they talk. And I'm sorry, it's a holiday party. For me, that is a time for family and loved ones. I would never invite an ex to something like this. Granted, I don't speak to my exes. There are red flags everywhere, and as much as I hate them, I think it is ultimatum time. It's you or the ex, because this is emotional cheating, which, believe it or ducking not, is cheating. I am paranoid one, not the a-hole. I can understand the paranoia that's coming along because of the fact that your partner's ex is literally trying to attend the party. But I see this as a more in-the-moment problem. I say if the ex tries to flirt or get back with your partner, that's when you should step in and stop the situation from getting any more awkward or out of hand. There's no real way to know the intentions of the ex until they have attended the party.